Don't lie.
Are we starting?
Oh, yeah, no, we're live.
Oh, we're live.
are live right
well,
now.
hey, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Today with Jared James. What are you listening to, like, right now? First off, before we do that,
Sorry, I'll turn my phone
I'm
off.
joined by my wife, again, for the first time in a while.
Oh my, it has been a long time.
Yeah, what are you doing over there? You're listening to another man on your
Oh,
phone.
here? No, Mr. All right.
All right.
Mr. Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, he's the man.
You know what? Have you noticed him more doing good morning, Tom.
Oh, yeah, Tom.
Mr. Tom.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
He's been doing a lot more, I feel like these like podcasts and more like influential speaking and public speaking and motivational speaking. And it's like,
Do you roll your eyes?
I'm like, I know you as Mr. All right. Like, what movie are you doing next?
That's.
I don't know you as like sitting here all.
This is very interesting, and this is
So-
not the point of today's podcast, but I do want to address this because we were in the car earlier, and you looked at me and you said, "Did Matthew McConaughey stop doing movies?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And you're like, "Well, I see him doing like these podcasts, and I see him doing. Is he doing like public speaking? Is he doing?" And it was so interesting because to me. It actually gave me empathy for people because the truth is, no, he's still doing movies. He's still doing. Isn't it funny how we take people and we put them in boxes and we're like, no, that's what you are. Oh no, that's what you are.
You stay here.
Yeah, and
Stay
again,
here.
for me, it like gave me great empathy for people because like here you are and I know you and you're immediately going, did he stop? Your initial response was when you saw him doing something else, he must have stopped doing that. And I so related to that because it's like. Anytime I put something up that's like not real estate related or that's not whatever, they're like, wait a second, are you not doing real estate anymore? And it's like, guys, believe it or not, there are many dimensions to the things I think about and the things I do and the things I whatever. And I used to get, and I still do, get very annoyed with those people. Like, what do you, nothing's changed. Like, this is who I've been all along.
We
Like,
still get that. People on the podcast stick to real estate.
oh, stick to real estate. Stick to real estate.
Oh my
It's
God,
like,
gosh.
okay, yeah, yes, got it, And so my point is though, when I heard you say that, because I know that you said it in such purity, it actually gives me empathy for those people because it's just there's a structure in our brain that just puts people in boxes and has trouble realizing that like people can switch. And it just reminds me because a lot of times people have been asking me lately about when it comes to social, like, do you stick to this or can you do all this other stuff or don't you need a niche or don't you need whatever? And then I saw a video the other day from Gary Vee, and he was talking about like moving forward in social, and I so agreed with it, by the way, because like when he said it, I was like, oh, that's like exactly what I've been telling people. That's exactly what I believe in that. He's like, moving forward to win in social, it's all of it. You got to give all of it to people. Like if you're a realtor and you talk about houses and whatever, that's awesome. But then if you love cats, do something with your cats. And then if you go on a guy's trip, do something about your guy's trip. And then if you love a certain team, talk about that team. And he was talking about how the algorithm is so specific that when you talk about those various things, it delivers it to those specific audiences, and it's all opportunities for new followers because you're now grabbing the attention of a new audience. And he was the first one that I've heard actually vocalize that, say that. And that's what I believed for the past year, whatever. I've been saying that at our masterminds. I've been saying that, and it was nice. It was kind of validation. I was like, yeah, I believe that too. And I do it all the time. I'm like, I'll do that, and then I'll talk about Justin Timberlake getting arrested for a DUI or something.
I think some people are so focused on like a niche and they stay in that.
Well, that was the world we
and
lived in.
they don't do anything else. And maybe that worked for a moment, right? But you talk about this too. You want to be like relatable to people. You want people to be like, oh yeah, I'm in that too.
Yes.
Or I've experienced that also. Oh wait, they also sell houses? It's like you kind of want that variety. And so yeah, like to that point, I guess because I've only known Matthew McConaughey as an actor, someone that loves to watch him on like films. And so for him to go in this little space, it's like a culture shock. So question to you on that, that.
Oh, I have something to say about this, but yes.
Well, do you even know how long he has been doing this public speaking side of it? Has it been a while, or has he not been pushing it out?
Yeah, he had his Greenlights book.
He hasn't been pushing it out much, or maybe do you think the algorithm's just picking it up?
No,
or do you feel like...
No, I want to come back to that because I want to make a point real quick, but that's a great question, okay? It's funny that you're just now picking up on that because my response to you when you said it was, yeah. I was like, all right, yeah, that's what he does, right? But here's a great point. I want to come back to that. All of these other sides, though, when people see me do a video with my stepdaughter, a silly video, or they see me post, I put up pictures of my son who was in an accident, kind of a scary accident a couple weeks ago, and I put it up just as like I wasn't planning on putting it up. I was just doing something. I was like, because I just think about sharing things and doing whatever, and I put it up, and all of a sudden it was like 100 and something thousand views immediately. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what just for that? But it just shows you that people crave to know those other sides of you. But there's a greater point here, which is that when you brand yourself as only one thing, right? Like look at me, right? This sounds weird to say out loud, but I think I'm one of the foremost real estate trainers in our industry. I think that would be not out of line to say.
Yeah, that's very weird.
Yeah, I know it is very weird, but my point is, there's a very easy way to just label me as that's what I am.
That's what you do.
And yet you know me personally. Like there's a lot of different sides to me. Like there's a lot of, I think about things differently, and I whatever.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Quite honestly, when people are like, "Oh, what do you do?" Right? They're meeting it, and they're not outside, and they're not in the real estate space.
Yeah.
Like my friends, you never say, "Oh, real estate coach."
Nope.
You never say that. You're
No.
like, "Oh, entrepreneur."
Yeah.
I do a lot of things.
I do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm just confused.
You never say
Yeah.
real estate coach, nothing like that.
Do you know what I tell people if I meet someone like at a bar or something, like I'm in some city and I'm just eating at a steakhouse or something? Accountant.
Oh.
Because there's no questions.
Attorney.
They're like, oh yeah, oh wow, okay, cool. But anyway, so let me make this point. The point I was making was that when you brand yourself as one thing, this is where I was going with this. With the whole real estate trainer thing, right? There's a lot of real estate trainers. It's like everybody who can't sell a house is a real estate trainer, is a real estate coach, is a, whatever. That's what they are, right? And so when you become that thing, you now put yourself in a category of a lot. When you are known as a realtor, there's a lot of them. When you're known as a salesperson, there's a lot of them. When you're known as a whatever it happens, even if it's a tech founder, there's a lot of them. There's only one me. You know what I'm saying? Like I almost just said my own name, which would be even weirder than saying the trainer. But it's like
because there's actually two Jared James.
Yeah.
But I'm
just saying though, there's only one Jared
it.
James. There's only one Tom
Yes.
Dina. There's only one Linda James. There's only one. And what I mean by that is just like, the things that are so just the intricacies of like what makes us who we are. And this is the point I was making when I was saying like, me like in depth, me personally, me, behind the scenes, me like whatever, like, that like there's many facets to me. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of, nuance. There's a lot of, what do you call it? Like when you have like little weird oddities. What's it called?
Sensories?
No. What's it called,
What?
Tom? What's it called? When you have a bunch of oddities, like little things that like make you like, not nuance. No, I can't think of the word right now. This is gonna drive me insane.
Joe probably would know.
I'll think of it.
I'm just kidding, Tom.
I'll think of it. My point is like all of those things are me. And like if I'm ultimately just like a real estate trainer or a real estate speaker or whatever, all it takes is for someone else who does that, does whatever, but nobody can ever replace me. You see what I'm saying? And so I love the idea of people going out and showing these different sides of themselves and showing us, stuff that we haven't seen and showing us things we like, showing us things we don't like, showing us things that, like all of that stuff. I love that. And so when you ask me about Matthew McConaughey, how many actors are there? And yet, I think if we all were in this room right now and we were to ask each other, like, how many Matthew McConaughey's are there? All of us would kind of look at each other and be like, oh, Matthew's different. Like, he's a different soul. Like, would you guys agree with that? I think we all, when we think of Matthew McConaughey, we're like, that's more than an actor. That guy has, a lot of different sides to him. Would you guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
If you don't, you got to read the book.
So you're like, you've read the book.
You've read the
I
book?
have it, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So you
I didn't
get
even know
it,
he
though.
wrote a book.
I have it. I haven't read it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, but when you listen to him talk and stuff, you're like, oh, he's a different one. There's only one Matthew McConaughey. Would you guys agree with that statement?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So part of the reason that we say there's only one Matthew McConaughey is because we've been able to see so many different sides. And so I think it's interesting that you're now just finding out about these sides of him that like I'm like, oh yeah, that's who he is. And he's like, oh, I've read the book, that's who he is. But you're just seeing it now. But it's like that's what he's a deep thinker. He's an intellectual dude. He's got a lot of thoughts on things, and he's a bright dude. Like
it's just interesting.
And he's different. I mean, he's the guy playing bongos. He's different.
Yeah, I just feel him like I see him more so, or the random things that I see on social. It's like, oh, he's in London talking, or he's in so and so talking. I'm like, since when did you travel and do public speaking?
You know why? Why you're not cued into this? Because he went on this whole podcast tour, but he was on podcasts that you don't listen to. But he did do Diary of CEO.
That's why I'm saying. Like, this is so weird.
So now you saw him because of that. But like a lot of the ones he did, so he did Rogan, and they had like a 3.5-hour conversation, and you were like, oh shoot. He did the guys tour. He did the, what's it called, 2 Bears in a Cave or whatever it is. I forget what it's called. But he did that one. He did a bunch of them. He did Diary of a CEO. And when you see people in a format, I mean, look, this was the whole like last U.S. election thing where they were saying like Kamala lost because she wouldn't do long form interviews, right? When you put someone in a 3-hour interview or a 3.5-hour interview, they can only play and hit their talking points for so long. Mm-hmm. We're going to find out who you are. Yeah. It's like if you listen to us week after week after week, you see our personalities after a while. And you're like, oh, they think like this, they joke like this, we were just here beforehand making jokes that were probably completely inappropriate in HR, whatever. And I'm talking to Tom and Joe, and I'm like, guys, we've worked together for years. Like we have, it's a different thing, right? And so my point is that in a world where there is so many categories and so many people in those categories, and we're heading into a world of AI and being recommended and everything else, the only thing that truly remains is brand. And it's not just brand like, oh, I'm a great real estate speaker, I'm a great real estate trainer, No. My brand is, I'm Jared James.
Who you are, yeah.
Yeah. Your brand is, I'm Linda James. Mm-hmm. His brand is, I'm Matthew McConaughey. Have fun replacing that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so I just think we live in a different world right now where the idea that we have to be niche, you're the niche. You're the niche.
Yeah.
You're what makes you different. And that's why, like, no matter how many people, when I do different things, will, could you get back to, I'm just like, you're following the wrong guy if that's what you think. Like, I'm my social channels are the opportunity, yes, to edify and give something to these people who follow, and to entertain and to educate and to do whatever. But they are an opportunity for me to also kind of give and put on display the different sides of me, which I don't always do the best job. You even say all the time, you're like, you got to put more of that. They got to see more of that.
I know.
Like you got to, and so anyway, my point is, it's just so interesting. It's like brand is the only thing that lasts in this new world that we go into. And it's not branding yourself as a category. It's branding yourself as you. Mm-hmm. The niche is no longer housing. The niche that you're in is no longer luxury real estate. The niche is no longer I'm in sales, whatever. The niche is Jared James. The niche is Linda James. The niche is, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's so interesting.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so now that we're talking about this, you just did your training.
By the way, remind me at some point here, right around 3 o'clock, and maybe this is more for Tom than you.
To text Jeff.
I need. Yes, I need to reserve our seats at the bar for dinner tonight. I got to text the bartender, so somebody remind me.
Is that what you really are?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
I just thought
Jared.
of it. Guys, there are things that matter, okay? It's important, okay?
It's Friday
it may not
night,
be important right
why.
now, but tonight when we're sitting in
totally
our spot,
joking.
It'll be important.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, guys, we take this break in action right here from this episode to tell you about a company that I think every one of you individually, team, brokerage-wide, whatever, needs to be using, which is StackWrap. StackWrap.com. Guys, if you're watching this right now, you know that you have a whole lot of bookmarks, on your computer. And we have all sorts of tech tools and all of these kinds of things, which is awesome. But if you're not using them, if you're not implementing, if it's just confusing you, what is the point? And so StackWrap is that place where you consolidate everything into one place, single sign-on. You see everything in one place, whether it's your CRM, whether it's your Jared James Academy, whether it's your email, whether it's your calendar, whether it's your Monday.com, whether it's whatever it happens to be, all in one place. And now they have an individual option as well. So if you're an individual, get on over to StackWrap.com. But if you are a brokerage or you are a team, no matter what size you are, This company is absolutely blowing up right now, and their pricing right now is not what it's going to be a year from now. So if you have a team of 10, a brokerage of 3,000, a whatever it happens to be, head on over to stackwrap.com, talk to one of their reps, and get going. I promise you won't regret it, especially as a brokerage or a team. You can actually see what your people are doing. You can see heat maps of where they are. There's so much you can do. Go check them out. You won't regret it. stackwrap.com. These are the things I think about.
This is what I'm thinking about.
By the way, neuroses are like the things I was talking about before.
I would
like
never
you have different,
you have
different
never
neuroses.
gotten that.
Yeah.
Right? I have like a lot of like neuroses, like weird, like I won't order because you can get the Starbucks now. You can save 10 cents and get extra stars if you know you're going to put it in your own personal container. Yeah. They're like, dude, order it for a personal container. We'll put it out here. You get 10 cents off. You get more stars, and then you can pour it in your cup right from. So I tried it one time. They put it in an open container next to everybody's stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out. There's no cover on it. It's just here for whatever weirdo comes over and sneezes. Yeah, keep your 10 cents.
Yummy.
Okay, so back to real estate. Okay, so
I haven't had a chance to do a podcast with somebody sitting next to me. And like
his little tail is like wagging like Teddy's. Okay,
mine?
Come on, Teddy.
Oh.
Okay, so you just did your, which I haven't like listened to it fully, but your 2026.
Is that good to you, Tom? Tom, you okay?
I just like the reaction. That was pretty good.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I will have to.
Tom, I don't think it's crazy to say we had.
Let me just finish this
first
real quick.
The totem thing. Now we haven't seen the whole thing.
That's exactly right. That's
I'm
exactly
sorry.
right.
All right,
Okay, no one else knows what I'm talking about besides you two.
That's true.
Your 2026 training for next year.
Yeah.
I mean, your goal setting, whatever you want to call it.
Not a goal setting.
We
but yes.
talked about this a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but you do put a lot of time into setting this, like creating this agenda, training the agents, teams, brokerages, people that are wanting to get into real estate.
Yes,
whatnot.
we just did the training yesterday. Yeah, depending on when they're seeing this, but yes.
Yeah, but you know what I tend to find out, because I've been in the real estate space.
Yeah.
I've seen agents come in. I mean, agents shift brokers around this time. They're
Yeah.
all looking at things.
No doubt.
Trying to figure out commission splits,
Yeah.
all this stuff.
By the way, just so everybody knows, Linda's running this podcast today. She has sets of questions and things she's going to talk about that I'm not 100% sure what it all is.
It's going to pop up in
but
my
she's
head.
running the show today.
Yeah,
but yes,
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, so, but I mean, it's just like every New Year resolution that starts and then 3-4 weeks in,
Yeah.
they kind of fade a little bit. January isn't a busy time of the month in
Depending on-
sales.
yeah,
Depends
yeah.
on market, I
Yep.
guess. So what really sets those agents apart from hitting goals versus ones that just kind of like fall off the wayside and stop after week 4, 5,
Yeah.
6?
Well, when my wife one day does watch the training I did,
I will watch
that had
this.
thousands of people on it, but not my wife, apparently. Okay.
Do you search for Linda James?
You could at least. Oh, you don't think I do? What do I do when I go on the
Is
academy? I
she
type
there?
in. Yeah. Okay. So first off, let me just say, since we're going to talk about this, so we did our training yesterday, planning for 2026. Let me say a couple things. Number one, freaking incredible that, and I think Tom, you'd agree with this. Like the number of people who show up on that, it's wild. Like it literally is one of those moments when like you're sitting there and you're just going like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
You know, we probably, when you look at, because a lot of people who are on there are offices and, groups and that kind of stuff, I don't think it's crazy to say there was over 10,000 people on live. And then obviously you have your replay and whatever. And I just think, and like all these countries and all these, whatever, I see people popping in and they're from South Africa and they're from whatever. And I'm just like, holy crap.
And quite honestly, I bet you they're not all real estate people.
No, you get other people as well, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. And now we've also started getting a lot of like title and insurance and, all of that kind of stuff, so without a doubt. But, so I just want to start off by saying that because I don't think that we kind of like communicate that enough. Like for everybody there's a lot of people on there that like I've been connected with, they've followed me for 15 years or whatever. And it's always cool to hear from them. And so I just want to put that out into the ether. Like, it's not lost on me. Like that is crazy. It's crazy.
And you appreciate those. That
Crazy.
keep on, yeah.
I have like all of these great intentions where I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to do Q&A at the end. And like, guys, please hear me. My intentions are good. I'm like, we're gonna do Q&A. Here we go. Hey guys, let me go over to the thing, and then I go over to the thing, and it's like,
you're like, wow.
like, but I'm like, oh God, what's happening here? So my intentions are good. I just want to be clear, okay? And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna answer all these things and whatever. And by the way, I have like glare from the sun coming in right over my eyes. I look like a yeah. It'll go away eventually. But anyway, so my intentions are good. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go check in later, and guys, I'm gonna answer all the questions, and I say these things, and I completely mean them. And then I go look at it after, and on one platform, not even on the other platforms, on one platform, there's 1,700 comments. And I'm like, yeah, guys, I cannot get to 1,700.
This is what you do, is you get all those 17, copy paste it, throw it into AI, and have them like, okay, match up the ones or group of the ones that are very similar. Help me answer
probably
these.
is a way to have Alfred
yada,
jump
yada,
in
yada.
there
Because
and
a
do
lot
something.
of them probably are the same.
Yeah,
But
you could
anyways-
probably, yeah. But anyway, so my point was a couple things. Number one, that's so amazing. Number two, I don't think it was my best effort yesterday. Like I think I don't think anybody watching would have been like, oh, that's not it. But I felt afterwards, I'm like, I could have done better with that one. I think I was tired. I think I was coming straight off of another training for another place and then jumping right into that one right after, whatever. And so it was good. Great responses from everybody else, but like you're always your biggest critic. When I was done, I was just kind of like, I've done better, like that kind of a thing. Now, to
But
answer.
also, though, can I say something before you answer? This might like throw off the question, though. Every time, like we talked about this before, this whole goal setting thing, you're very much like, ugh, like people need to get out of this whole mindset. New year, new resolutions, new goals.
Well, that's actually where I was going to go.
Okay, so I think
Yeah.
also you're doing this because agents want it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But then you're like, in your core, you would never do business this way.
Oh, if you haven't
That's
noticed.
probably why.
If you haven't noticed, I have slowly started shifting into more of what I think. Like, of course, everything is driven. It's a personality-driven brand, so it's what I think. But like, we used to put out when we would do our. If you notice, I didn't call it a business plan training. We used to put out 15-page business plans. This time, I marketed the thing by half the time telling everybody, like, hey guys, let me tell you what most trainers and coaches and whatever don't want to tell you. Long business plans are an absolute waste of time, and that's just the truth. And if you don't believe that's true, when was the last time you filled out your 15-page business plan, and when you were struggling in May of the next year, you went, I know where the solution is, page 8 of my business plan. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Great leaders, great teachers are great simplifiers, period. And so what I've been doing a lot of lately is, instead of following the status quo of like what we're supposed to believe and what we're supposed to think and what people are expecting from somebody in our position, is I've really just started diving deep into, what do I do? Because like some of the stuff that like I'm supposed to teach around business planning and otherwise, I don't do. I don't even believe, And I think for a long time I convinced myself that that's probably the way to do it. It's just not the way I do it, and I guess I'm a little different. But then as time goes on, I start to realize when you see more and more people fail and you see more and more people succeed, you start to go, I don't know that many people are doing it that way, actually. And so when I say great leaders, great teachers are great simplifiers, I don't think it has anything to do with a 15-page business plan. I think it comes down to a couple of just really simple things. And that's why at the end of the day, look, I went over my non-negotiables and I went over like these various things, but like at the end of the day, I was like, guys, look, what's your goal? What's your income goal? We're gonna do our digital planner, which is really simple, that basically breaks down for you based on your goal, what does that actually mean? Like how many appointments do you need? How many, like that's what it really matters. How many appointments do you have to create? Now that we know how many appointments we have to create, out of all of these various, sources that are out there, these 20 different things we can pick from, what are the 2 or 3 that you'll stay consistent with that get you to those appointments, okay? So if I know that I need 2 appointments a week in order to hit my goals, based on what the digital planner, popped out for me, then, okay, what are the things I'm doing that's going to get those? Is there certain circle prospecting I'm going to do once a week? Is there certain regular prospecting I'm going to do once a week? Are there, some kind of, are there a certain number of open houses that get me a number of appointments? Are there certain letters or mailers that I need to do? Is there certain reach out with the database that I ultimately need to do? Is there certain content that tends to create? Is there certain, what are the 2 to 3 that I will stick to and be consistent? And forget about everything else. Forget about the 24 other ones that are working for somebody or that you hear about all the time, but that you're just not going to do, right? What are the 2 or 3 that you will do? Simple, simple, simple. That's it, right? And I said, okay, that's it. Number of appointments. What are the 2 or 3 lead sources that you'll commit to? Period, right? And then from there, I went on and just said, okay, now beyond that, when we talk about having a good 2026, because I do want you to have a great 2026, what's a hobby or 2 you're going to commit to? What's going to allow you to just release and, be yourself and be good for everybody around you because you have a release? What's a good hobby for you? And then professionally, what's your accountability factor? What is the... whether it's the academy, whether it's a coaching program you're with, whether it's whatever it happens to be, what's going to hold you accountable to this and what's going to continually teach and train you and show you, be like your Moses that comes down from the mountain and says, here's where the pivots are, here's what you need to pay attention to. Like professionally, who are you following, right? And I use that to basically say like, hey guys, if I'm your voice, you belong in our academy. And I believe that. If I'm your voice, our academy is $99 a month. You belong in our academy. That will hold you accountable. That'll teach you the pivots. That'll allow you to personally learn from me. And so at the end of the day, it's just very simple. We don't need 15 pages. We don't need a SWOT analysis. We don't need,
So would that be like the one wish that you would, if you had a...
It's not that those things aren't good. It's that you're not going to stick to them is the point.
Yeah. So if it's like shifting mindset, it would be that, right? It's more like we don't need to follow the actual script that a lot of coaches and trainers have been saying to do when it comes to goal setting.
Yes. And by the way, as I'm talking to you, I am going to unlock my son's credit card because he's trying to get some grub. But yes, the answer to that question is yes. And again, it's not because those things are bad. It's because they're not going to stick to them. And there's a greater point here that I think is very important, and that's this. We are taught, or at least there's kind of like an unwritten thing, that in order, I don't know if it's ego or I don't know if it's, what it is, but we are taught, or it's learned as coaches and trainers, I think a lot of them, I watch them. I watch people and I watch what they do. And you got to understand that most people who get into doing, what it is that we do, it's kind of like mega pastors. There's ones with great hearts and great intentions, and there's ones who just have a huge ego and need attention. That's it, And when you look at the space of anybody who's a trainer, a coach, a keynote speaker, somebody who gets up in front of arenas, somebody who gets in front of, whatever, it is something that I have guarded against greatly because I've met all of these people. And most of them have ginormous egos. And by the way, ego's not a bad thing. You have to have an ego. You're not accomplishing anything if you don't have an ego. That's important, okay? But we all know when it went too far. You know what I mean? There's a difference between discipline and abuse, right? And so most of them have that, but most of them also have an insatiable need for attention, or to feel important, or to, something like that. And so I think in an effort to make things unreachable, to make them unattainable, we complicate things. Because what it does is it puts the focus back on us because we're here to break it down. And we're here to, it's almost like the old school Catholic Church. Don't read your Bible. We will enlighten you, that kind of a thing. And so for me, I'm just on this mission of I want to help a lot of people. And yeah, I do think I have a certain gift in a certain area to be able to do certain things. But it's not because I think I'm better than or I'm whatever. I think things are simple. And I think I don't think we have to overcomplicate everything. And I don't think something has to be so astronomically difficult in order for me to feel important explaining it. I think that great leaders are great simplifiers.
But at what point do you keep it simple? And then at what point do you allow yourself to stretch a little bit? And push yourself to be uncomfortable.
That's so interesting that you think that those two things are different.
Because people could, okay, I'll do the same exact thing.
Simple's not easy. So when you say become uncomfortable,
Meaning like
I do not look at those things as
meaning like how
non-exclusive.
you said the 2 things that you know you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that third thing is super uncomfortable, creating videos.
Sure.
But I should add that third thing.
Sure,
right?
sure, but I didn't say that one of those things shouldn't make you uncomfortable. I said which one's going to give the best result and you're going to stay consistent with. Those are not exclusive. The idea of simple and uncomfortable. Those are not exclusive. Simple is not easy. Those are 2 completely different things, right? Like you and I went to the gym this morning. We worked our tails off, right? And then I missed my haircut appointment and we went and got it done, and then we came back to the gym and then we did some cardio, and then we did 30 minutes in a sauna, and then we did whatever, like very simple. Everything we did was simple. Doing this was simple. Getting on the feet in front of each other was simple. Sitting in the sauna was simple. None of it was easy. None of it was comfortable. So those things are not exclusive.
Okay.
You understand? Like
Yeah.
they go together.
No, it's good that you explain it that way.
Yeah, they go together.
Because in my head, I'm like, well,
I love it. See, that's why I love having you here, because I feel like sometimes you say what other people are thinking, and even you're thinking that. And so it's like, that's perfect, because it gives insight into the audience of like maybe they're thinking that. But those things are not exclusive. Just because simple does not mean it's easy, and doesn't mean that it's doesn't separate you. It doesn't mean it's not. Doesn't mean it's comfortable. It doesn't mean any of that. It means I know exactly what to do and I do it.
okay, so let's say week 5, week 6, going into the new year, I fall off track.
Yeah.
Do you, and I don't know if this is covered in your training at all, and we'll move on to other things, but like, do you suggest that an agent sit down and kind of reevaluate what you have set your goals to be, or
Sure.
these systems, or these one, or do you just pick it up, let's go, like continue to move
that's
on,
easy to say,
continue to
pick it up,
push.
let's go, but we have different personalities.
Or do
I'm
you,
a pick it up, let's go
Or do you
guy.
like,
I
hey,
can-
let's be a little more realistic here.
Okay. So whenever you're dealing with people at scale, whenever you're dealing with the masses, you have to understand that you're dealing with a lot of different types of people, and different people react to different things. And so it's almost like, to make it relatable to the audience, it's like when you go in and you deal with a seller of a property or a buyer of a property, and you could meet with 10 different sellers and buyers, and they have completely different personalities, and they respond to different things, and you have to use different tactics. What it takes to connect with them is different. If you go into a home with a buyer who's an engineer, you need to focus on details, and you need to focus on the dimensions and how things are going to fit, and you need to focus on, if you walk in with me, I want to see, will it work? Move on, let's go, save time. Like, so everyone's different. So I always know from my perspective that when I'm dealing like I am now at scale with not just people all over the country, but people all over other countries, different languages, different cultures, different, all of those things. That's why, number one, accountability is important, no doubt about it, but that's why community is important, okay? So, when you look at something like the academy that we're building, right? The thing that doesn't get paid enough attention to is community, is those people who are coming in week after week, and and they're talking to each other in the community, and they're forming friendships, and they're holding each other accountable, and then they're getting on those calls with me, and they're seeing what other people are doing, and they're seeing what's possible, and it's pulling them back in. Think of it like this. Actually, this is a great way to think of it. Now that I'm doing that, okay. It's like somebody who goes to church every single week. And they don't go to church every single week because they're perfect. They go to church every single week because they're not perfect. When you look at, and this doesn't matter whether you're religious, not religious, whatever, just understand the principle right now. The Bible is a standard, right? No one is expected to live up to that. And if anybody was, you could not walk into church every single week. And yet that's the problem. Most churches think that perfection is the standard, and everyone who's not perfect there tries to act like they are, and does, there's a lot of churches that are like that. But at its core, what it's supposed to be is that we all admit that we're not perfect. We all admit that we've fallen short of this standard, but we all come back together week after week, and we admit our sins, and we try to get closer to that standard. But by being in that community, by listening to that music that uplifts you and makes you feel close to God, and makes you, and by doing your offering and giving to something other than yourself and being a part of something bigger than yourself. And they always say the greatest way to get over your problems is to help somebody else with theirs, right? And so that's part of like the whole giving thing. It's like, oh, they just want your money. It's like, no, you are robbing yourself when you don't give to things greater than yourself. So you come in and somebody, maybe you've been, treated like crap all week and, nobody respects you and you feel like your kids disrespect you and whatever. And you walk in, the first thing happens is you have a parking crew that's smiling and telling you where to go. And you go in and there's greeters and they're trained to smile and make you feel good and welcome. And it doesn't matter what's happening. We're happy you're here. And then you go in and there's music and you feel connected and whatever. And then there's a time of giving and offering and you're a part of something bigger. And even though your life's not all together, you're helping to make somebody else's all together. And then a pastor comes up and gives a word that feels like it's right for you. And even though you're not perfect, it's just like you're like, I'm going to give it another shot. I'm going to try again, right? And so there's this idea of like, by having community that you're with every single week, you're always getting pulled closer to what you know you'll never be. But you're pulling further away from what would have been if you weren't in this community, which is to fall into the abyss and just become another piece of crap, right? It's a weird example, but it's the same thing.
Okay, so I have a question.
Hold on, let me finish. So
sorry.
It's the same thing when you talk about like what we do with our academy, or like when you say somebody falls off 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, 5 weeks in. Somebody who falls off 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, 5 weeks in, and doesn't know if they're going to make it or not. That speaks to me of someone who doesn't have community, because it's okay to fall off. Check any point of any part of any day, and everyone has fallen off every single day. It's just how quickly you get pulled back in. And when you're a part of a community, when you're on these calls, when you're talking back and forth with other like-minded agents and whatever from all over the world, it's not about whether you fall off. It's like it's the pulling of back in. It's like, okay, nope, everybody else is what we're doing. When it's what you do, right? And the only way that you identify as somebody who that's what you do is that you're just a part of a community, And what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Do you feel like that we're going into a new era then of like slowly eliminating the whole like solo agent? And a lot of like teams and groups are, because community is now becoming a bigger necessity?
Yes and no. The predetermination of being a part of a community is not whether you're a solo agent or a team or a.
It's just making sure you're plugged in.
Yeah, everyone can be a part of the community. Like if you look in our academy, we have teams, we have brokerages, we have individuals, we have insurance people, we have mortgage people, we have title reps, we have like that. That's not the prerequisite. The key is no matter who you are to be plugged into community. Period. Right. But. Obviously there's always these questions of the roles and the, solo agents versus teams versus this versus that. And I think we pay way too much attention to all of it. I think that there's enough room for everybody, and I think that everybody's got different goals. And you say, well, what's best for the consumer? Well, who's the consumer? You telling me there's not a million different types of consumers? Since when is there one consumer? This is what's best for the consumer. What consumer? Because show me 100 consumers and I'll show you 100 different needs, right? Like it's different. It's completely, So some consumers will probably like that solo frenetic agent who's, whatever. Some consumers probably want a team who's going to service every different part with a different person and specialize. And some consumers go out and do things themselves. And some consumers regret it, and some consumers love it, and some consumers I just think that sometimes. In a world where simplification is so powerful in your own world and your own business, when it comes to labeling others, simplification is a dangerous road. It's like we're all so complex. We're all, we have so many different sides to us and so many different things that we that make us who we are. That I don't think we can say with any kind of certainty, this is the way, that is the way, this is the whatever. It's this is the way for her. This is the way for him. This is the, you understand?
Yeah.
So whatever works for you, like it's some solo agents, we call them solo, but who's really solo now? With the advent of AI and transaction coordinators, and who's really solo? We've all got help, Okay,
so if you could be like specific on this, I don't know, because obviously this is just off the top of like your cuff. I'm just asking you, but has there been a goal that you actually have completely missed that has changed your mindset and thinking when it comes to resetting goals?
Goal that I have
like a
missed.
Goal that you have that you thought you were going to hit completely, but instead shifted the way you actually set goals. Now, I'm talking more of a business, obviously more business than personal on it.
Huh.
Or are you not one that sets goals? Maybe you're not. That I really want to get that side out of you. Maybe you're not someone that sets goals, but you.
No, I set goals. I'm not as goal oriented as probably everybody would think, in the sense of like, I sit
They're
down.
not long-term
here's
goals,
my
probably?
5-year. Here's my 10-year.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is bullcrap. Like, guys, you don't know what's happening 8 months from now. What's
I mean, there was a government shutdown. We didn't.
That's my
take
point.
that
What
in
do you mean
consideration.
5 years from now? I mean, look, there's overall, even that, look, there's overall, like, hey, I want to be married. I want to be, I want to have children. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, that stuff,
No.
awesome. Have your 10-year, have your, whatever. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, I will be, like, very precise, very specific. Like, I hear these people who talk about that from a goal perspective. Maybe it works for them. Awesome. Good for you. But you didn't know COVID was coming. You didn't know financial shut. You didn't know. There's just the greatest strength that great entrepreneurs have is not in the forecasting of their goals. It's in their ability to pivot.
I was just gonna say that.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so, and that goes completely in stark contrast to my 10-year goal. Okay? It has nothing to do with my 10-year goal. There's a great arrogance in thinking where you're gonna be in 10 years. Let's be honest. There is a great arrogance that comes with you thinking you know where you're going to be in 5 years or 10 years. Okay? I can guess and I can work towards who it is that I want to be in 5 years or 10 years, but saying I know where I'm going to be, that's a level of arrogance I do not subscribe to. And so, I don't. It's so interesting when you just asked me that question and you said, is there a great goal that I've missed? I feel like I'm going to sound arrogant now because I don't think there is, but it's not because I don't miss my goals or something like that. It's just that I make my goals are so specific and so attainable that I know that if I do what I'm supposed to do, I know that I'm going to hit them. There's like no way not to. So I'm, it's that kind of a thing. Look, I think that's the biggest difference, right? Goals are things that we specifically control, that we could specifically, what you're probably talking about and what people misbrand as goals are really more like their dreams and aspirations, which in many cases require more than just your work. Like if you dream of being a pop star or something like that, okay? That's not a goal you can set down and go, if I do this, if I do that, I will be there. Because there's so many, go walk around Nashville. There is just pop star after pop star at every restaurant you go in. You go, how are you not famous? How are you not famous? How are you not famous? Like, this is insane. There's a bit of luck that happens. There's a bit of circumstance. That's a dream and an aspiration. That's not a goal. That's a completely different thing. A goal to me should always be completely attainable, and it would be ridiculous to think you weren't going to hit it because it just makes sense. Like when I made a goal on the training we did, the AI training. Now this is laughable, but I made a goal because we had kind of launched the academy and whatever, and like I'm like, I want to pick up on here 40 students. And I figured it all out, and I was like, all right, I'm going to market here. This should get this many people on here. This many should be non-students already. I'm going to talk about this kind of content. Here's exactly where I'm going to put the first teaser in there. I'm going to give nothing but amazing value. So even if they don't sign up, they got amazing value, but they'd feel dumb not to move forward because it just sounds like. And I went through the whole thing, and we ended up with 41. I'm just kidding. I think we got like 600 new ones off of that when the goal was 40. But like the goal made sense though. I'm looking at it going, how would we not hit this? How would we, whatever. But then when you get those ones that are just so far out there, so whatever, that no longer is a goal. It's like to me the difference between like people are calling it the same thing, like this goal and this goal are the same thing, and it'd be like saying that when I go for my run every other day, that's the same thing as a run going to, do your marathon, your New York City marathon. So, no, those are
No,
not
yeah.
the same thing. Like those are, they may
Yeah.
look the same, but they should not have the same name.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, hey babe, I'll be right back, just going for a run. Like I would do that if I was going for a run. But can you imagine if I signed up for like the New York City Marathon? You had no idea. I'm like, babe, be right back. Going to do 26.2, you know, may or may not live after, like, you know, whatever. It's not the same thing. And like that's essentially what we're doing is we're calling these things the same thing when they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
They're, you know,
You mentioned, I'm going to shift a little bit if that's okay.
You're controlling this podcast, babe. I have no idea what we're doing.
You
so
mentioned,
go.
you mentioned, like, how are you able to account for COVID, a shutdown? Let's talk about the shutdown a little bit.
Your
right
own
now.
health, by the
Your own-
way.
obviously.
Other help.
a ton of things.
People who you lose. People get fired. You have somebody who fraudulently steals money from you. You have a relationship that falls apart. You have a relationship that starts. You have a million different things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pivot.
I was in jury duty, actually, sitting down, and I'm like reading stats and data on housing and up to date on MLS stuff. By the way, our local MLS is raising fees, which is crazy. Year over year, they've been doing it. Anyways, not what I'm talking about. But I want to like go over some numbers real quick. But people, obviously the shutdown is still in place. What, 30 days now, almost? How long has it been?
Too long.
Okay.
Too long.
And it's like it's affecting a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm
It's
worried.
also-
I'm flying next week, and I'm like, is we gonna have an issue?
Well, I just got a notice from American Airlines saying, hey, your flight might be impacted now
Yeah.
as of November 7th because of the government shutdown. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? And so it's affecting a lot. It's also affecting housing. So I was reading about this, and obviously it's affecting, and you probably know more about this, but loans specifically, so your FHA, your VA loans, USDA loans, those are being very affected. And I think it's more like, I don't know if they're falling through, they're not being processed, maybe it's slower. You might have some more insight on that.
Yeah, well, by the way, some are able to go through. It's really weird, like it's lender to lender.
Okay.
Where some lenders can push that thing through and they don't need an actual government approval or a government employee and then some lenders, and you never knew this beforehand, some lenders need certain tax forms, they need approval through government, they need whatever. But the big issue is this, is that most of them, they're not falling apart. What they're doing is they're having to hold. You know, and it's
Okay.
like, wait, because they're waiting for the government to open back up. But the problem is, and this is something nobody's talking about right now, and I might do a reel on this or something.
Well, I think it's really important, yeah. So
Well, the
finish,
problem
and I have
is
some
that
questions.
what's not being talked about is that people locked in their rate. And it's only a 30-day lock in many cases. And now, to no fault of their own, that rate's going to expire. And it's like, because they can't close. They can't, and so like that's a frustration right now that many buyers have, unless the rates go down in the meantime. But then even beyond that, let's move on beyond that. Like, you not only have situations where people's rates are going to expire, and now they're going to have to hope that they're at a place where it's not as bad once the government opens back up. But what about in situations where you're moving out of a situation, somebody's moving into your situation that has nothing to do with the government shutdown, you're not using a government loan, they're not doing anything like that, but now the place you're going to is using a government loan. And now you can't get in, and now these people want you out. And there's a clog that's happening right now that not a lot of people are talking about, that if this goes on too much longer, you're going to start to hear about this stuff because it's
absolutely.
becoming an issue. At first, when it first happened, you kind of went, okay, here we go, another government shutdown. We've seen a bunch of these. Like, here we go, and you're just waiting to wake up every day. I'm still waiting to wake up every day and hear that it's going to end, especially now that we just had elections. I was like, okay, now it's going to end, and it still hasn't yet, which surprises me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be shocked. Let's remember this, because this is going to come out soon. I'm going to be shocked if this doesn't end by the early next week. Shocked.
It's wild, but I want to put all this in perspective. Okay, so some analysts are actually estimating, and I'm reading this because I don't want to mess up numbers, but they're estimating more than 3,600 homes, like home closings per day, are at risk right now. So over a full month, they're looking at over 100,000 transactions that are going to be affected, which I feel like I don't even know when we might be over at a month.
By the way,
at this point.
babe, put that in perspective too. So it's not just government shutdown, meaning like, government employees aren't getting paid. Here's private citizens now who work for themselves, who do loans, who sell houses, who do whatever, who are now not able to close as well, and it's affecting their income.
Oh, yeah.
All the while, let's just throw this out there. While the government employees are not getting paid, the ones who control this, the senators and otherwise, guess who's still getting paid right now? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they're
Of course
getting
they're
paid.
yeah.
It's such bull crap. Like I get frustrated
It's all
by this
wild.
stuff.
But
It's such bull
they're
crap.
estimating roughly a $47 billion in housing volume that are just stuck. And that is with an average of $435,000, like home average.
Yeah,
sale,
and that's just what our market needed right now.
which is wild. So, okay, my question to you is like, given this like large scale of what is going on and how it's affecting housing, how would you suggest agents be proactively like speaking to their clients about this?
Well, I
Like,
think
do we obviously it's out there.
Yeah, I think it's expectation, and I think you have to come from the perspective of the doctor who's giving a client a diagnosis, even though it's not your fault. We have to start to normalize giving bad news and stop taking it on as our own and avoiding the conversation because it's bad news. We have to stop thinking that we have to be the ones that every time we talk to someone, it's hey, how are you? Hoo. Like sometimes you got some bad news to deliver, and it's not your fault, but it is what it is. And so one of the most powerful concepts, one of the most powerful weapons that salespeople have that they don't use enough, and really it's not just salespeople, by the way, it's everyone, is the power of expectation. Anybody working with a client right now needs to go in and let them know, like, hey, this is the potential. These are outside forces. This is what could happen. This is what, whatever. And if it happens, we'll deal with it together. This too shall pass. But it may cause some friction. That's going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to let you know what you need to do based on, we're going to learn some things together. But we're in this together. We're going to do this together. I'm affected by this as well.
Yeah, because you don't want to create any panic.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But that's why you need to. That's why I say this all the time. But it's like the video editing thing. You got to pull out. You just got to like zoom out and be like, this is a blip and it's temporary. And that's what's important for everybody to understand too. Is as angry as I get about this and as frustrating as it is, guys, we're not even gonna remember it. It'll be over in a couple days, and we won't even remember it. Like it'll be like it never happened. Think about the last one, and everybody got so frustrated and so whatever. Like anybody think about it now? Does anybody? It's a blip in time. And unfortunately, these politicians, they play off of that because they know that they can get away with it. They know that you'll move on. Guys, Prince died, and we thought about it for about 18 hours. Think about that. Prince died. We thought about it for about 18 hours. So a government shutdown will get talked about for about 3 hours until whatever else the next thing is, whatever Russia does, whatever Trump says, whatever the next thing is, it'll be like it never happened. That's the reality.
Okay, so if you said Trump, so if you were sitting across from the president today at his desk and he wanted to hear from you, what would you suggest like needs to be changed possibly, if anything, when it comes to like the housing structure?
I'd say, do you have any of that government waste that you can send over to Jared James Enterprises that we could just earmark for that? That's what I would say to him.
Or is there not any changes? Has he done?
Look,
has
if I'm
he
being,
done
if
a
I'm
great
being
job?
completely honest, and look, anytime you talk anything,
Any
and you
politics,
involve Trump or anybody,
watch out.
you're going to get people in the comments who think, whatever. Let me just be very clear before I say this, and you know me personally. Like, guys, I'm very fair-minded, very whatever. When it comes to sitting across from Trump and telling him what I think he should do for the sake of housing, I actually think he's great for housing. So like, there's a lot of other things that I'll have issues with him about and, otherwise. But housing-wise, if you go through the big, beautiful bill, which is a joke of a name to begin with. I mean, there's never been a more Trump name of something. The big, beautiful bill. It's the most biggest, beautiful, it's the most biggest, beautiful bill you've ever seen. Like, I mean, it's just the Trumpiest thing you've ever heard, right? But he's great for housing. So there's not a lot I tell him as far as like I think he cares about housing and is working. Now, there's a lot of other things that I would probably say to him, but like that's not here nor there, for the sake of this conversation. And by the way, for all of you listening, I would have done the same thing with Biden beforehand. Like
Yeah.
I think they're all, again, we're all nuanced. There's things we like, there's things we don't like. If you're listening to me right now and you all the way hate whoever's in office now, or you all the way loved the last person that was in office, or you all the way hate the last person that was last in office, and you all the way love this guy that's in office, you probably need to check yourself. Like, you're probably not all there. Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to housing, though, I think he's
Done a good job.
I think he's very good for housing.
It's like, I don't sell homes. I'm not a licensed realtor. But like, just given the past year, 2 years, then the pandemic, and then now this.
Yeah.
not only is it affecting just numbers, but talk about like an emotional burnout.
Emotional burnout, uncertainty. Our biggest issue in housing right now is uncertainty.
But I mean, even for agents, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Emotional burnout for like.
Oh God, agents, yeah. Yeah, if you've made it,
It's like-
I did it, babe. I did a
It's
video.
like give me like it's like feed me a bone, help
Babe,
me out. Let's do something.
I did a video the other day. Let me see if I can.
But honestly, like kudos to those agents that are just like pushing through.
Literally that. So I did a video the other day, and I just said, if you're seeing this right now,
Oh yeah,
like
I
we
remember you
just
saying
went
this.
through the worst real estate market you'll ever. And I know some of you are going to agree, some of you not going to agree, but like
Was this
there's a
before
lot of data.
shutdown? During
There-
shutdown? What is this?
What's that?
Was it when you posted
This is before
it?
shutdown. But I'm like, hey, if you're still here right now, kudos. Like you have
know.
gone through, and just the emotional too. Our biggest issue in the real estate market right now, it's not rates, it's not any of those things, right? Like everybody thinks, oh, rates, can we get lower rates? Can we get, guys, we don't want lower rates. I know you think you do, okay, but that is a short term. Like that's a sugar high. That's all that is. Low rates are what got us into the position we're in right now, where over 60% of sellers have less than a 4% rate and have absolutely no motivation, and why many of them, if they're not getting the price they want, are keeping it. They're like, I'll just take it off the market then. I'm
Oh,
good,
I was going
okay?
to go into this
Well,
later.
we will, but that's not why I was saying that.
Okay.
Okay, but low rates are what got us there. The rates right now are at healthy levels. This is where they should stay. Any lower, it's not really that healthy like we need to. But the biggest issue in the real estate market right now is not rates, it's not prices, it's not any of those things. And we can have a conversation about affordability. That is an issue right now. There's no doubt about it. But the biggest issue is uncertainty. Is that you have sellers that are on the sidelines going, it's like a big standoff, and they're like, and then you got buyers going, oh, I don't know, and they're going back and forth. Uncertainty. Should we wait till rates go down? Are prices going to go up? Are they not going to go up? Is this? And they're, and I said this on yesterday's training. It's just so true. Like, what I know is that if you give a kid a Snickers bar, that's the happiest kid in the world. But if you bring a kid into the candy store and say, pick a candy bar, that's the most confused kid in the world.
Overwhelmed.
You will be there for hours, okay? And that's how I look at the current state of the real estate market. The current state of the real estate market is because there's so much misinformation and the media is saying one thing and other people are saying other things and whatever, and it's back and forth, and what should you wait for, and which direction is it going, and is it a good time, is it a bad time, is it a this, is it that? You've basically collectively taken a group of kids, brought them in a candy store and said, pick one, which what you might as well say to them is that you're not picking every other one. Because if you pick one, it means you don't get everything else. And so it's just utter confusion. It's not about picking one. It's about what you're not picking. And it's not about making the right decision. It's what if you made the wrong decision? And that's where people are right now. The greatest issue right now in real estate is indecision. It's confusion. It's chaos. It's the uncertainty of the market. The greatest issue right now in our real estate market is uncertainty, for sure.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to go to, because Realtor.com actually reported just shy of 50% of sellers are actually pulling their homes off the market.
No doubt.
Before they ever look at lowering the price of their property.
100%. And by the way, you were supposed to remind me. You were supposed to remind me to do something.
Year over year, too. It's within the past year.
It's insane. Yeah, because they don't have. Okay, so I'm going to sell this property. I'm not going to get the price I want. I'm not going to get whatever, and then I'm going to go into another house at a higher price, whatever, at a 6.5%, 7% rate. They're like, nah, we'll just stay here. We're good.
Yeah.
Take this quick break from the podcast to talk about Mosaik. You've heard me talk about it before, but man, has there been changes. When you look at what's going on in our industry right now, whether you're an individual, but especially if you're a team or a brokerage, and you look at Rocket buying Redfin and then Mr. Cooper, and you look at the Zillow Super app and all of these things, you need to be asking, what do I need to do to compete moving forward? Because what they're doing is they're building end-to-end ecosystems in what I call the economy of convenience. And your people are going to go what's for convenient, not just who's taking care of them. And if you can't match them and you can't offer an end-to-end economy for them to actually operate in, then we're going to have a problem, right? And so this is your place to do it. You know, one of the great things about our industry is that we come up with amazing tools, amazing tech tools. Problem is we have so many different ones. And every time we use a different one, we miss an opportunity to get a consumer used to the same one that they would then use post-close, which is where all the value is. So we have them use something for transaction management. We have them use something for e-signature. We have them use something for forms. We have them use something to make an offer. We have them use something, and it's all different convoluted. Mosaik makes it very easy, all the way from search to property analyzation to making an offer to the forms to transaction management to a client-facing app to post-close follow-up, everything all in one place. And every time they use it along the path of getting their home or selling their home, they get more and more comfortable with it, which only adds to the option, to the availability, to the chance that they're actually going to use that thing post-close, which is where it all matters. It's branded to you. They know about you. You're giving them information they want. It's following up in ways post-close that statistically we know they want to hear from you. So if you're not using Mosaik yet, make sure you go check out Mosaik, mosaik.io. Get it for yourself, your team, your brokerage right away.
So interesting. And yes, I forgot to tell you to message Jeff at 3 o'clock.
That's what I'm doing right now.
It's more so producer Tom's fault. You asked Tom first. You didn't really ask me. I did. Is that what you're doing right now?
Yep, I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's called multitasking, which doesn't exist.
Question on this,
Yeah.
on this whole thing. Yeah, multitasking does not exist.
It actually doesn't. It's not actually a real thing, guys.
It's not a real
Do you know that they found that, this is really interesting, that when you smoke weed, your IQ drops by 15 points. But when you multitask, your IQ drops by 30 points. Did you know that? So I'm not saying you're better off doing one or the other. I'm saying you shouldn't do both. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying your IQ drops either way.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so go back. Let's talk about delistings, because that is a huge thing, too.
Yep.
Even our... you have cleared and closed.
Well, you are getting deep into it today. I like it.
You have a cleared and closed company where
Cleared
we
and
have,
closed,
we
yep,
have a
transaction
TC
coordination
here,
company, yep.
and she has even mentioned to you, I'm getting a lot of agents,
Yeah.
like their listings are just falling through.
Yeah.
Whether it's after inspections.
Yep.
She said inspections specifically.
By the way, that's another
So-
issue of expectation, meaning the agents need to create the expectation with their buyers that when you go into an inspection, it's not are they going to find something. That inspector is being paid to find something. The actual evidence that they didn't do their job is if they don't find enough things. What we're looking for is high-level, big issue, whatever, because if they came into your house and inspected your house, you wouldn't recognize, all of these issues and all these things that were going on. And so our job is to create expectation for them to make sure they understand we want them to find stuff. That means they did their job. That's not a reason to back out.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Okay, so we talked about the shutdown, and it's causing all these different emotions, uncertainties, and in sellers. So now it's shipped over to these delistings that are happening all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right. So how would you, if you were an agent, talk to your seller before they say, you know what, Jared, it's 30 days. I'm pulling it off the market. We're done. We haven't received an offer, or we have the inspection come back. I'm not gonna give any money towards closing or to the buyer. I'm just gonna take it off the market. I really don't need to sell anyways. I just thought maybe. How would you talk to that seller? Like coaching another agent, people are delisting quickly.
Yeah.
They rather delist before even putting it up there. So I guess there's two questions here. Obviously, how do you get an agent from being super excited getting a listing to very nervous sitting down at a table saying, hey, we might have to drop it a few grand.
Yeah.
And before even finishing the question, the seller's like, nah, it's okay. We don't really need to.
Yeah, well, I would say that you started the conversation too late. That's like talking to someone in prison and training them how to be a good human being. It's like, or making good decisions. Hey, let me go start a prison ministry where I talk about how to make good decisions. It's like, okay, well, we might be a little late in the game here. They're in here for killing 10 people. That conversation should have been had, back in sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll say the same thing when it comes to that seller. If you're waiting to have that conversation with your seller to when they tell you that, you know what, we're not really, that motivated anyway. If we're not going to get it, we're just going to take it off, and that's within 30 days, then you didn't ask the right questions to begin with. Because that's not a conversation that should have come up then. You should have known that beforehand. I love David Knox, the real estate trainer. used to have a thing, and I forget exactly what it was, but he was like, do you want to list or do you want to sell? Do you want to list or do you want to sell? And it was something like that. But it was the idea that, like, you know, not all sellers are created equal. We don't get paid for listing properties. We get paid for selling properties, for actually closing on those properties, right? And when you're talking to a seller, sometimes an agent can get so thirsty to have a listing that they don't probe and ask the right questions and figure out what the motivation of this seller is. And next thing you know, they're ready to take it off the market, and they're going, "What is it? Can I put marketing to this? I did whatever," and like they're like shocked. And it's like, well, yeah, because you didn't read the you know, the tea leaves. You didn't see what was coming here because you didn't ask the right questions because you were so thirsty for this listing. Okay, so that's one thing. That conversation happens beforehand, and I'm going to go back to it over and over again. That is expectation right in the beginning. If you know that's happening over and over again, then that is a conversation you're having with your seller at the listing appointment. Mr. Seller, in this market right now, we're seeing this happen, we're seeing that happen, you know, whatever. In that kind of a situation, how do you see yourself responding? You know, what do you think about that? You know, and they're gonna be like, yeah, we'll just take it off then. Well, then that's not a serious, that's where you need to start having the conversation then about, well, if I'm gonna put marketing into this and everything, well, I need to know I'm gonna be compensated for that because you know, like I'm putting my money into that. If you're not that serious about this, you know, or they're gonna be like, yeah, you know, we gotta adjust to the market. You know, if that happens, you know, I understand you explained to me that you understand process, not price. And if we don't get the price we want, then that's the market responding and we need to, you know, and that's part of the agent also explaining that to them. Now, from an agent perspective, on top of having that conversation early on, the agent also needs to look at what's the goal of the listing. Because not all listings are created equal. So there are listings, you know, there are many trainers that will tell you and they'll say, you know, well, then you don't take the listing. You don't take it. Yeah. And it's like, I don't buy into that. If it's a great listing that's going to draw a lot of people, that is the cheese that catches the mice. I would take a listing with a seller who's maybe not that realistic, but is going to allow me to put my name on it and market it and put it out there, knowing that I'm going to use that listing to get 2 other listings and 2 other buyers. Now, that's well worthwhile. That's more worthwhile than a listing that went on immediately and sold. A listing who doesn't sell, but you pick up 2 listings and 2 buyers is way more valuable than a listing that immediately sells. Think about that. And so we as agents just also have to not only create expectation for the seller, we have to create expectation for ourselves. What's the goal of this? Yeah. And if you know what the goal of that is, then you're completely fine. You know, like that's fine. So conversation happens earlier, understand expectation, both for the seller and for yourself, and then go into it with those goals. Go into that with your eyes wide open. Here's what I'm doing.
Another stat shows.
Very tactical call.
I know.
I mean, this is.
Another stat actually shows this, though, and I want your opinion on this. 20% of listings actually had a price reduction, which is the highest it has been since 2016. What do you think that tells you?
I think that tells me, like I've been starting every single event I've done lately. Every buyer thinks it's 2006, and every seller thinks it's 2023, and most agents don't know the difference between the two. And so what you have is you have sellers right now. You have buyers who want, you know, deals, record deals. They want to steal a property because they listen to some guru on Instagram that said now's the time. You have sellers who want record pricing. They're going to set the, you know, whatever because their grandpa built a bird bath in the backyard, you know. And you got the agents stuck in between, you know. And so yeah, that is when you have 20% of sellers lowering their price. The ultimate feedback is the market. That means they weren't getting their price. And so you could say, well, it's because we're not advertised in the New York Times. It's because no, it's price. It's always price. It's price, price, and price. That's it. Yeah. You know, well, I don't want to just give my property away. Well, if you're giving properties away, let's take it off the market. I'll take it. If we're in the business of giving it away, I will take it. Okay? But if this has been exposed to the open market and it's not getting offers, price. Yeah. Okay? It's always price. So that tells me that, yes, you still have sellers that are trying to operate. Remember, every market's local. So, like, some markets are really high right now. Some are taking a hit. Some are, you know. But in that individual market, it means they went with a price that did not work, period. Yeah. And the problem is if they don't adjust enough, they're going to keep chasing. Because the longer that property goes on the market, you know, it's like a single lady who's 62 and never been married. You know, you meet her and you're like, she's amazing. My God, we should get married. But your first question is, why has she never been married?
I know. What's wrong with her?
Yeah, you know, like it's, you know, everybody might get mad with me saying that, but tell me that's not true. You know, and that might be an amazing woman. Something's up. Yeah. You know, there's either commitment issues, but like something's going on with that, right? And so in the same way, when you have a property that has been sitting there, you know, and they're just chasing the market, but they just keep on, you know, putting it 10,000 too high because they want to try it, they want to try it, they want to try it. Eventually you end up hurting yourself and you end up not getting the price you could have had because they start to go, why are you still single? You know, it's that kind of a thing.
I want to wrap like this point up, but I do want to plug in, not only a plug-in, I also want to explain something that a lot of agents could do on their MLS or use FirstUp if they have FirstUp. But one of the great tools about FirstUp, which is our company.
Yep, FYRSTUP.
Which it really is a digital whiteboard for brokers or agents to communicate pre-market inventory and active listings.
Yep, open houses, active listings, yeah.
What's great about it, and we're not trying to, you know, I worked for an MLS. I am not anti-MLS. But what the great thing about this tool is you are able to put these sellers' properties on here.
Yeah.
And
gauge the market.
And literally gauge the market.
Within your brokerage.
Within your brokerage, yeah. So it's all compliant. But I could put the listing on here, and I could say, okay, Mr. Seller, you think it's worth $570. Let's see what the market says right now amongst my office.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a whole bunch of buyers
without
in here.
accruing days on market.
Exactly.
Without get major feedback.
It's a beautiful thing. So when it does hit the market, it's market ready.
Correct.
And the seller is not confused on why it didn't sell. Why are you asking me to
They don't have to be the
reduce
62-year-old single lady going. They can find it out beforehand.
I know, exactly. And it's such a beautiful thing on both. And there's two different reasons to why. Yes, it's exactly what you said about the whole like 62-year-old lady. But also, there's something called days on market, DOM, and CDOM, cumulative days on market.
Yeah.
In the MLS, most MLSs, well, when I was there, it was 60 days. Now it's 90 days. Those don't reset until 90 days off the market. So in the event the seller wants to go back to market in January, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Seller, the number is still going to be there.
Yeah.
The public's going to see it. They're going to pull up the MLS, the agent, and they're going to be like, wait, it didn't sell for this price, but now it's listed for more?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what's going on? And so not only are we worried about DOM, which is days on market, but cumulative days on market, which usually is a 90-day reset. That's 3 months off the market.
Yep.
So a product like FirstUp is beautiful, but if your brokerage doesn't have FirstUp, what you could do in your MLS is use reverse prospecting and figure out, okay, this is all the specs in the home. This is the price that we're wanting.
Yeah.
You know, what buyers are out there?
Yeah.
You know,
that
no, I agree. As well.
No, it's a great way to get feedback.
I just don't feel like
in a compliant manner, and
I don't feel like either agents are unaware of the tools that are out there to really support their sellers and their buyers, whether it's a company like FirstUp, like ours, or whether it's their bread and butter, the MLS.
And by the way, in a gridlocked market, those kinds of things become more and more valuable because now you need to be able to provide value. You need to be able to talk about what you do above and beyond everybody else. You need to provide, you need to say, what's in my tool belt that can help us out here. That's a great point. It's so funny. I'm listening to you make this great point and sound so smart, and I look over and the dog is just looking at you.
Let me make fun of you.
He's like, that's a good point, Mom.
No, but it's just so true. And I'm passionate about the MLS and the tools that we have. But honestly, the MLS is really only used to do what? List properties and to find properties.
Display,
That's it. You know, they don't use all the other stuff there.
Yeah.
And so this is why we created FirstUp, to kind of simplify things. And
good point. I didn't know you were going to bring that up, but that's a great point. It's absolutely a great point.
Yeah,
really obviously you've got buyer matching and you've got open houses and who wants to host the open house and all that kind of stuff. But you're right, within brokerage you can get that feedback that you can bring without accumulating days on market. That's a great point.
So
good point.
We should just end with that great point. I don't have any other questions for you.
Well, you're running this thing, so do we have anything else?
No, I actually don't.
I mean, we went from Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, we didn't mean to do that one, but I was on my social media page.
But man, you started bringing it. You're getting into government shutdown.
That's what happens when you're second jury duty. You're like, scrolling through.
You just started looking.
Scrolling through. No, it's just very interesting. The government shutdown stuff, the delistings versus doing a price reduction on anything.
Yeah.
We have people that are feeling the impact.
What would happen, by the way, the mayor that just won in New York, the socialist guy, where he wants everything government run? He actually said in a statement the other day, he said there's no problem too big for government to solve. I thought it was a joke when I saw it. I actually thought that it was like a meme, like somebody said it as a joke, and then I was like, oh no, that was in the speech.
No, he
that was
actually
real.
means that.
Okay.
Wait.
But what happens in a government shutdown?
You should make it a meme. That's what you should do.
I saw a meme and it was that, and then it was like Ronald Reagan below, where it said you know you're in trouble, or the number one way you know you're in trouble is if you hear I'm from the government and I'm here to help. You know, it's like, okay. Anyway, my point was, though, I just thought of this, though. Like, what happens now? So he's the mayor of New York, and he believes in government. I mean, government. Like he said, there's no problem too big for government to solve, which sounds like a joke, but no, completely serious. And this isn't like, you know, people label. He says he's a socialist. That's what his thing is. What happens in a government shutdown in that kind of a situation? If the government's running everything, government's running transportation, government's running the grocery stores, government's running like I'm literally saying this out loud right now, going like, what happens?
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Wait a second.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I'm just throwing that out there.
It's honestly, it's so sad, the whole government shutdown. I know people that are actually
It's very sad.
on food stamps
Yeah.
that are like, I heard a commercial. Was it a commercial? There's something that said, go to your local food bank. And I'm just like, oh my God. If I had my family and I had to be on food stamps.
Which, by the way, food banks run out as well. Like
I know.
Yeah.
It is heartbreaking.
And you shouldn't have to go to a freaking food bank because people who are getting paid are all jockeying for positions to get their earmarked monies given to different places that have no business going to those places, but they're leveraging, you know, the pain and suffering of the people who vote them in.
It's heartbreaking.
In order to try to hold out and get what they need so that they can pay the places to get their votes and, you know, pay off the people who give them money and pay. It's so dumb. Like all things, it's never the stuff you see that's outward and it's like, oh, it's this and oh, it's this. It's the underlying. Like they've all got things that they're trying to pass money over to, you know, that they don't want anybody to know. And it's just like, it's so, they play off the fact that most people are not smart enough to know what's actually going on. And they play off the fact that people just pick their sides. Whatever side they're on, it's the other person's side. You know, they're the problem. It's them. They're the reason. And they play off the fact that most people are too dumb to just like actually like research and figure out what's going on here. And like the deeper you get with it, it's just sickening. Like it really is sickening.
I mean, and you're coming into a holiday season.
The people who are paying the price are the ones who voted these people in, who are still getting paid.
Yeah.
Like, what in the, you know? And they go, well, you know, they're considered, what are they called? What kind of workers? The essential workers. They're the essential. Okay, I'm sorry. So the SNAP benefits and like the government, not essential.
Not essential.
But you, Mr. Senator, I know that I get up every day and I go, oh, I hope he or she is at work today so that I can get through today. You know, you are essential, you know? And it's just like, come on.
It's just rough to hear and
so
see.
Dumb.
And like even just to hear the commercials.
And I don't want to hear, by the way, for people watching this, I don't want you in my comments with a long thing about why it's the Democrats and why it's the Republicans and why it's the this. And guys, it's all of them. It's all of them. They've all, there's a reason why we don't like politicians, okay? And politicians exist on the left, and they exist on the right, and they exist in the middle, and they exist in the, you know, and at the end of the day, nobody healthy gets into politics. You know, most are just a bunch of scumbags. Like, they're allowing these people. I think about, like, for example, you know, I was raised by a single mother who we didn't have, like, there was times where, like, we were on that government assistance and stuff. And look, for those of you who know me, like, I'm not an overall government assistance, meaning, like, I don't like people living off the government with no plan for getting beyond. But I do understand that there is a time and a place, and that, you know, the government at times, you know, needs to be a helping hand and needs to be, you know, those types of things that helps you and is that arm that, you know, gets you through that tough time, you know, whatever it happens to be. And so I think about this situation and I go, when we were in that situation, right, where my mom was working to try to get out of that situation, but like, if we didn't have food or we didn't have, you know, like, what do you know, now you got to swallow your pride and, like, you know, put your tail between your legs and walk your kids down to a food bank like you're some kind of homeless person because these a-holes can't get it together? Well,
it's not even
you
that.
know, like, are you kidding me?
There's
While
that.
they're getting paid?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, are you kidding me?
There's that, but also, like, I mean, I could be very honest here. There was a point there where I needed government assistance because of the company I was working for that went under. I needed unemployment.
Yeah.
People are not getting unemployment.
Ugh.
They can't pay rent, their mortgage, whatever it is. So now it's like we're almost going back into not a pandemic, but it's like you're putting people back in a position where they're going to be late and behind and have to catch up Like, you're not going to double pay them for the months that they haven't. So there's a lot.
Yeah, but we got to hold out.
Anyways,
we got to hold out so that the left can have their
just
millions of dollars to give to illegal aliens, and the right can
I
have
know,
whatever
it's
constituency they're trying, and all the hidden stuff that they're trying to put in, and then they're making it about something else, and it's not about that thing at all. It's like when you see politicians debate each other, and they go, well, you voted against Section 23A of whatever, which specifically talks about feeding homeless, you are against homeless women, and it's like, well, wait a second, there's a section in there that says that we're gonna, take insects and put them into the children's, heads when they're little and do, whatever. Like, I'm just not voting for that. And like, they'll never tell you that. They're just like, you hate homeless women, and like, that's what they're doing right now, is they're putting forth, both of these sides are going, it's because you're doing this, and it's because you're doing this. And the truth of the matter is, it's because the Democrats want to take hundreds of millions of dollars and give it to illegal aliens, and the Republicans have all this money to donors and stuff that they have to give over, and they won't say what they're actually doing, which that's what they're actually doing. But in the meantime, they'll get paid. And like you said, some single mom who's trying to take care of her kids won't be able to do it. Some dad who's on unemployment won't be able to do it. Now we're going to have flights that are canceled and people can't go, about their normal lives and whatever while they get paid. And it's just, and they play off the idea that they know that once it's over, everyone will forget and we'll move on to whatever they tell us to focus on. Yeah. Whatever the next thing is they tell us is important, everybody will go, oh, look at that. Like, and it's just freaking puppets. Yeah. Like, it's so annoying. Like, it's annoying how much, like how much people don't realize they have strings attached to them and they are getting played every single day, And the moment anybody steps up and goes, call them bull crap, someone goes, conspiracy theorist. Oh, that's a crazy. And it's just like, okay, no, crazy is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have like a local food bank that I don't know of anyone here, but if you're fortunate or blessed enough to be able to give, especially during the holiday season.
Yeah, and by the way, back to the
like,
original thing, like when we were, I was using the example, which was a weird example, but it made the point where I said, like, it's like people who go to church and whatever. This is when those types of places, should flourish.
I know.
There's a reason why churches and other organizations are 503B, nonprofit organizations. Their job is to step up, and the reason why they are not taxed is because of the good they're supposed to be supplying to the community.
Yeah.
Because of the good works that they are supposed to be doing. Now, most churches have gotten completely away from that, and they've figured out how to, just become these mega corporations, basically. But the good ones right now, this is when they have to step up.
Yeah, and I also feel like that if we can, like, whoever's listening to this could also step up, though, because it's just hard. It's just it's just a rough time of season right now. Who knows for how long it's going to be, and we're going into a holiday season.
I didn't tell you this. I don't know if we'll cut I don't know if we'll cut this from this or not. I didn't tell you this.
What?
When I was in the store the other day, actually, a gentleman had some issues with his
card.
Yeah. And it was like the saddest thing you've ever seen. Like, he didn't realize that stuff was cut off. And the lady was like, oh, that's your, whatever it is, right? And maybe we'll cut that, I don't know. But, like, obviously I took care of it. And I'm like, dude, I got it. No big deal, whatever. But I was thinking when I saw that, I'm like, this man just had to forget the fact, okay, great, he had someone near him who would pay for it. Just the pure embarrassment.
You and I...
Like, man to man, he's sitting there going, oh, thank you so much, thank you, whatever. But, like, the fact that he even had to do that and go through the embarrassment of, like, this thing being shut off and not working, and then feeling like he has to, like, grovel to another man to thank him for something he shouldn't have had to have, and I'm there like, dude, no, it's seriously, man, like, don't even, like, please, like, and it looks like I'm trying to play hero, but I'm just literally being like, you shouldn't even have to deal with this, like, just, you're good, you're good, no more attention to this, there's people around, like, this looks like, and it's just like, this is so dumb.
Yeah. Well, we saw a lady, remember, we went to the grocery store. We went to go visit our dear friend George Mees, but we got dessert. And the lady in front of us was scrimmaging through, like, tried to scrimmage through the coupons, and then she was pulling things out of the bag. Yeah. But she was further ahead, and you literally right away said, oh, no. Like,
I have PTSD about that kind of stuff.
And, like, you were just like, we couldn't get there in time to be like, hey, we'll take care of it, because the register lady just undid some stuff, but it's super fortunate. It's unfortunate, but anyway.
Yeah, that kind of stuff gets me. I have like PTSD about that kind of stuff where I'm just like, God, I would. Yeah, I think I would give away like everything I have, everything, whatever, like in the right situation. It's just like which obviously wouldn't be smart to do, but it's like PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Anyways,
And on happy note.
that's a little bit of politics for you and emotions and all that. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah,
I thought this was fun.
We started with McConaughey and ended with hungry people.
That's a very sad story.
I know.
Give,
my
but
God.
just give to
Tom,
people.
you got anything uplifting to bring to people?
Maybe we could end this out with some upbeat music.
Well, how about it's almost Christmas season?
It is almost Christmas.
Okay, I've got one. Let's go one at a time here, guys. When is the appropriate date to start playing Christmas music?
Oh, January 1.
And I want to hear from those of you listening right now.
November 1st.
Comment below, when's the appropriate date? I'm going to say two things. When's the appropriate date to start listening to Christmas music?
And decorating.
Okay, and by the way, I understand everybody's not Christian. We have Jewish people. Everybody listens to Christmas music. We all know this, okay? And so when's the appropriate time to listen to that, and what's the appropriate time if you start decorating your home?
I say November 1st.
November 1st is the time to start listening?
I started October 31st. Wow. Like that evening.
You have a dissenter
And
over
November
here.
1st.
No. There's no specific date. It's the day after Thanksgiving.
Now that
No.
is a common belief.
No, the reason why though
To
is
listen
because
as well?
Yeah.
No, the reason why I'm like I share custody with my kids, so you really think about it, they're only in my home for 4 more weeks until Christmas is done, you know, and so I'm like we need to spread it out a little longer.
So Tom's the opposing view. You think she shouldn't be able to celebrate longer with her children.
That's
Is that
right.
is that your view, Tom?
Your kids don't need
I
it.
just want to be clear. Are you anti-children,
I am.
joy and happiness?
Yes.
Because
All the
then they
above.
would only celebrate Christmas in my house for 2.5 weeks, and that's so sad.
Tom, your turn.
So we leave our decorations.
He has
like our
no
tree
children.
and
He has
everything up.
cats.
Yeah, that's true. Up until I think Little Christmas, which I don't know. It's like January 10th or something.
There's
like
a
that.
little Christmas?
Oh, so you go beyond Christmas?
Yeah.
What is little Christmas?
It's
don't
like
know.
an Italian thing, I guess. I don't know. It's just
Like a
Are you
Festivus?
Italian?
Yeah. Big
Oh.
time.
Is it Festivus?
86%, baby.
Wait.
86.
Festivus? Is that from
No,
Seinfeld's
it's- Yeah,
Festivus?
it's Jewish. I'm pretty sure.
Festivus?
Isn't it?
No, the fake one from Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, that's Seinfeld. Yeah,
Isn't that Festivus?
I think so.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to tell you I don't really have a rule. I'm going to tell you that anytime I hear Christmas music, I'm happy. Mm-hmm. Especially, nothing pisses me off more than some new pop artist who has to make a Christmas song that sounds nothing like Christmas, and it has to take up time on the Christmas station.
Yeah.
I can't
listen
stand
to the
it.
radio anymore.
This is not a Christmas song. This is not a time for you to be writing hits. Give me the classic.
Yeah.
I'm fully on.
I
the
want to
playlist
hear
at
some
this
fire
point.
burning in the background.
Yeah.
Okay? And by the way, you want to make me really happy? Everyone's going to say Michael Bublé. I love Michael Bublé, but give me some Nat King Cole.
I like Michael
So,
Bublé.
Michael Bublé Christmas.
Okay, I love me some Michael Bublé Christmas, mainly because we've shared a moment, him and I. I'll tell that another time. But I go Nat King Cole. You guys know Nat King Cole?
Yes.
Voice of an Angel. I mean, that's Christmas music right there, right? If that doesn't make you shoot hot chocolate into your veins, you're not alive.
Or a cider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Some
know what to tell
eggnog.
you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Eggnog, yeah.
Nat King Cole, though, my God. Who's your favorite Christmas artist? By the way, before you answer that, even though she's a complete diva and I can't stand her as a person, Mariah Carey's album.
Well, yeah,
That's
it's
a good
classic.
album.
But do you know what is an underrated album of that same vein? Jessica Simpson's album. Yeah.
Oh, you know, they do
Interesting.
play a lot of her
Oh,
during
she had
Christmas,
a
too.
banger of a Christmas album. She did.
They do.
In that little run there when she was dating 98 Degrees or whatever it was, like she had a run.
I don't know. I want Michael Bublé. I want to actually...
Michael Bublé is amazing, and I'm with you. It's Michael Bublé all the way, no doubt.
He
But
probably hates the fact that he's known for his Christmas music.
yeah, well, that's a cross to bear that I wish all of us could.
He probably is like, oh gosh,
As he's
I do
filling
more
as
than
he's
that.
filling
I do more
arenas
than
all
that.
across the world,
He
even
actually
when it's
has-
not Christmas time.
Yeah, he stopped touring though for a bit.
He did because of his kids and otherwise. But Nat King Cole's for me. So who's your favorite Christmas artist?
I don't know. I mean, I think I would just go like big band in general, like Sinatra, Nat King Cole, like Sammy
Sinatra's
Davis
great.
Jr., all that stuff. Like I think that's kind of like, I don't know. Again, Italian. So it's
You know
like,
what
that's
song
just,
I
like,
can't
thing.
stand though?
What?
The Drummer Boy.
Oh,
The
that
Drummer
one
Boy
actually-
song.
It used to scare me as a kid.
I think that's what it
Yeah.
was. It was so scary.
Yeah.
the whole bum 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 bum. Like, oh gosh, you're like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
no,
It's not a fun lifting up tune like song.
It's not.
They should really get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, anyways,
I know what you mean, although it's still
Are
an
we gonna
oldie, so I
decorate for
like it. How
Christmas
about,
here?
I mean, Noah, Noel.
I know, yeah.
Noel. I mean, that's just a waste. You know what song I can't
it's
stand?
just a waste.
You know what song I can't stand? I'm sorry, and this is gonna. I love my Spanish brothers and sisters, but Feliz Navidad.
You hate
Shoot
Latin.
me in the head.
Oh my gosh.
I love Latin music, and my
You're
hips
gonna get
don't
all
lie.
the- you're gonna get all the
Literally.
oh,
My
he's-
wife will tell you, my
I
hips don't lie.
know.
That's fair.
Okay?
Yeah, go to
Tell 'em.
Mexico with this guy.
Tell
He
'em.
got them hips.
Yeah, I got them hips
He
that
has
don't
great
lie.
moves.
Okay.
Fair enough.
We should
Here's the
decorate.
nice thing about being a white guy.
No one
the
expects
standard
it.
is so low, the expectation is so low that if you could do any kind of Latin, they're just like, what in their brain doesn't
The sad part
comprehend
is
it.
the expectation for me, although I'm
Yes.
not
Yes.
a Latina.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're dark skinned. You should know how
Yeah,
to
you
dance. And I'm
should.
like,
And they're not wrong.
I don't know how to do my hips
Yeah.
like yours.
And they're not wrong.
But anyways, we should decorate the stage for.
But hold on.
Christmas.
Where are you guys with me on the whole like Feliz Navidad?
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz
I love,
Navidad.
I love
Feliz
all
Navidad.
those. I love that one. Grandma got
You
ran over
love
by a
Feliz
a
Navidad?
reindeer. Yeah, I do. I don't know what
No.
it is.
It's fun.
It's-
All right,
My
where do you
kids-
stand as an Italiano, Dominic the donkey?
Love Dominic.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good. That's
big
good.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, Grandma got run over by a reindeer is not the same as Feliz Navidad.
People put it in the same vein. It's like
No, nobody does. What
Yeah.
people? Name one.
the people.
No people.
The children's
The
choir.
people. Oh, the
school.
children's choir. Yeah.
Oh, I know another great Christmas album.
What?
What's his name? The other operatic guy, Groban.
Oh yeah, good.
Is that his name? Josh Groban?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's an album. My God,
Oh,
I used to
yeah.
listen
I
to that
forgot
Christmas
about that.
album. Where's the I'll Be Home for Christmas, and they do the whole thing with the service men and women talking
Oh,
to the
yeah.
kids. I swear to God, I would get emotional every time.
Yeah.
It looks like,
Like,
you're getting emotional now.
I mean, it's
Hold
just,
on, wait a
it's-
minute.
It's a
Zoom
thing.
in on his
like,
eyes.
These people, like, you don't even realize how lucky you are. Like, these people, their parents are off at war, and they don't get to spend Christmas with them. Whatever. It's just like, oh my
Not even
God.
parents, they're
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
I think the first
Well, I'm
time
talking
I
about their
heard
parent,
that, I
their
was
parents,
like-
meaning the children's parents.
Or the parents' children.
Okay, I mean,
Or the
Oh, then there's
six
no,
or
I
half a
mean-
dozen. What are we doing right now? I don't understand. Okay, can someone help me out who's watching? We're
why-
saying the same thing.
why I love
By the way,
you.
Jeff just responded. There's somebody in our seat.
And we kick
I
them
said,
out.
"You get them out.
Orlando will cut them.
You get them out."
Anyways, that was a lot of Christmas talking.
I know. I don't know if we should save that for later in the
Yeah,
year.
it's
That'll
not
be
even
our New
Thanksgiving
Year's
yet.
special.
I
But
know.
you know, when the spirit flows, you have to go with it. And we are dressed in green, and there's red right there. And oh, I got one for you.
Oh gosh, here we go.
We are continuing, everybody. Favorite holiday?
Encore.
Yeah, encore.
Oh, I don't know.
Favorite holiday?
I'm gonna say Thanksgiving. It always has been.
Because of
I'm,
the food?
I'm not a
It's-
foodie.
Well,
so I don't know.
so we used to have like it used to be like a big thing. We'd have like a bunch of people over and we'd play like games and stuff. We still have like a bunch, like a few people over and play games and stuff. But yeah,
Just to be
it's
clear, your mic is on, right?
yes.
Okay, good. Because we've had things in the past where you say some words and then like it's off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But like with as much as we have you talking right now, we need to make
Yeah.
sure that mic is on.
It is,
All right,
yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also enjoy like Alice's restaurant, so I'll put that on a loop all day.
Okay. All
18
right.
minutes. Let's go.
Okay. Please excuse this quick break from your episode for me to let you know about Jared James Academy. Guys, if you are watching this right now and you are not in the Academy yet, what are you waiting for? The Academy is literally the best value in real estate, and that's not just me saying it, that's our members saying it. I got a message the other day from someone the other day, and they said, I feel like I'm ripping you off. And that's because the Academy is only $99 a month or $1,097 for the year, and all of it is a complete tax write-off. I'm right now in the middle of doing a complete series on AI so that you know how to get discovered, how to use it to be efficient. Then we're going to talk about planning for the next year. Then we're going into a multi-episode series session series on getting listings. Like for $99 a month, guys, if you follow me, if I'm a voice you listen to, this is something that you can't afford not to be in. You need to be in the Academy. Go to jaredjamestoday.com/academy. If you're watching this and you're like, oh shoot, what does it come with? Guys, me personally, I do 2 live training sessions every single month, and if you can't be there, then they're going to be recorded, they're available on your dashboard, They're available on your Jared James Academy app. You can watch them on demand. We have notes for you to download with exactly what I talked about, exactly what you need to do, all of our template scripts and dialogues. We've got trainings from our coaches on very specific topics. Like literally, guys, this is the best value in real estate. If you're not in yet, you need to be there. jaredjamestoday.com/academy. Let's get in there as we head into the new year and make sure that you have not just your best year ever, but let's make sure that your career goes to a whole different place. I'll see you in the academy.
Come over to connect. Actually, we're doing.
I was gonna say we have a great Thanksgiving.
We're doing Thanksgiving
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. We are.
I'm like, do I stop there?
We are.
Okay.
What's your favorite holiday?
I don't have one. I don't have.
I didn't
one.
want you to say where we're going and stuff because I don't want.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say that.
Okay, yeah, I don't want.
But it's
I don't
okay.
Want, I don't want like yeah.
I
I love y'all.
I don't
yeah.
don't have a favorite holiday right now. Don't even know.
Yeah, you do. It's your birthday.
But I'm turning 40 this year, so that's kind of like this year probably not the best holiday.
By the way, you know what I found out yesterday? I'm about to have a birthday.
I know.
Somebody
In a
reached
couple
out
weeks,
and they were like
Joe's
doing a
tomorrow.
birthday thing. Yeah.
Joe's tomorrow,
And I was
yeah.
like, what the crap? Yeah. I'm at that age where you don't know what age you are.
Yeah.
I said that to you earlier today. I'm like, am I this? Am I that?
Yeah.
You know, like you honestly, and I used to, I would hear people do that. And I'm like, oh, come on. You don't know how old you are. And now I'm like, am I?
Yeah, he asked me this morning.
Yeah,
like,
you
"Wait a
literally
minute.
start to forget. Like,
I turning
which one
51
is
or
it?
is it
You just
50?
don't. I didn't say
I said
either of those.
51.
I am not 51 or 50. Okay, what are you talking about? I'm nowhere close to that.
No, 46, right?
There's nothing wrong with being that, guys. I'm
Yeah.
just not that. Okay? What you say? I'm not that either. People are gonna believe what you're saying.
Well, you're not 50.
No, but then you threw out another number that I'm also
what was
not.
that number?
You said, oh, 46. I'm not 46.
Okay.
And I'm not 45.
45 and a half.
Yeah, no, I'm not yet any of those.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
in,
45 and 355
I'm still on the other end of them
days.
40s. Okay? That's I actually still count my age in days.
I'm sure you do in seconds, actually.
In months.
I am 16,237 days. Yeah. You know what I wonder? Hold on a second.
My kids love to, like, they call Jared the human calculator, and so they'll just call him randomly on FaceTime and give him, like, problems to solve.
I love it.
The funny part is, they're 12 and they're 9. They don't even know what the answer is
It's
correct
like,
or not.
oh,
He can
cool.
say anything, and oh my gosh, he got it right.
Whoa.
I'd like
He
to
got
say,
it right.
I said 16,000. It's just over 16,000.
There we go.
16,000 days. Yeah, we're
Now
getting
we can,
there.
now we can all guess your age.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's your favorite holiday? Christmas.
Did you just call me Christmas or did you
No,
answer for me?
Your Christmas, though,
She
right?
said, "What's your favorite holiday, Christmas?" I was like, "Oh, is that my name now?" You know, I love Christmas. I love the music. I love the overall just
my
sentiment
tummy.
of it. I love that my kids love it. I love Christmas. I love any holiday I'm with you, babe.
Aw, that's the right answer. Joe, be proud of you.
Yeah, no, I love Christmas. I love. I'd have to really think about that. I love 4th of July. Like I love a good picnic out on a boat or something.
For those on the West Coast, picnic means barbecue.
I don't think anyone
Not
needed.
a basket, you guys. Not a basket.
I don't think anyone needed a.
Pretty sure.
Nobody needed.
You guys,
that.
if you have listened to the podcast this long, what comes to mind when you think picnic? I think red checkered blanket, a basket, like Little Miss Red Robin girl.
Red Robin?
Picnic.
Yum.
Red Robin.
Red Robin Hood. No.
Red Riding.
Red Riding Hood.
Red
Robin.
Whatever name is.
No,
yeah.
but Riding Hood. But yeah, I mean, that's picnic basket.
Yeah.
He means barbecue, though, you guys.
Well, not a barbecue either. I'm not gonna
Like a
actually
party.
use barbecue
Some
flavor.
ribs.
Barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. Some rib. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you. How about a party? A
Party.
Outdoor gathering.
Yeah, a picnic. It's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. You just threw out it's cute to me.
It's cute.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, my point is, I don't know. I don't overly focus on any of those. Like, you know, they tend to be with the same people and stuff. So I just love being around my people, and that's that. Anyway, all right. Any other random questions before
Before we lose any more of
what's
our
your social
audience.
security number?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, is O's here? Did you see he was like doing that?
No.
O's, you know the guy O's?
No.
No.
The guy O's, the guy that like guesses stuff and everything.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He freaking was on Rogan and he got Rogan's PIN number. He
I've seen him do that
He
on, like,
he reads
yeah.
your mind. He's like, okay, picture it right now. Do the first number. Count it in your head. Okay, so it's not 5, it's not 7, so it's 6. Your first number is 6. And the person's like, yeah, it's 6. Okay, now, second number. Think about, it's just like,
weird.
Oh, it's crazy. And he'll even tell you, he's like, I'm not a minor. He goes, I know tells. He's like, I'm a master at, I've learned what people do and how they do it. And he's like, right every time. And so like he guesses, he did it on there and then he did it somewhere else too, on like Good Morning America. And he like said like, Michael Strahan's PIN code for his bank. And he's like, would anybody know this? And then he starts asking him questions. He goes, your number's a random number. It's not like a birthday or you're a random number. And he was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And he starts asking him more questions and he grabs his little thing. Can you tell us your number? And it's like showing to the rest of the staff, and then he says it, and they're just like, what in the, and they just go change his number. Like, can you imagine?
That's crazy.
God. Anyway, all right. Well, we have now ended on a better note than what we were going to end on.
Officially.
10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago,
if
whatever
this even
it was.
stays in, huh?
Yeah. No, this is staying in.
Okay,
Are you
never
kidding me?
mind.
This is the stuff people. You got to give the people what they want.
Yes.
This was what they want.
Okay.
Okay.
This is what they wanted.
You depressed us about Christmas. Okay. Tom is anti-children at Christmas, we
Correct.
found
Yeah,
out.
it's unfortunate, and he celebrates longer.
Against
Yes.
joy and happiness.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes. Okay. Awesome.
And you love picnics.
And I'm for the people. I'm for
the
people getting their groceries. I mean, that's what I learned here today.
Yes, sure.
Okay. If we're gonna
Okay.
brand this,
Let's summarize
in
this.
the description, Jared is for the impoverished
Could
and
you
helping
please-
people.
Tom, like for that thumbnail photo, could you please add a picnic basket next to Jared's
Okay.
head, please?
Just some Little Red Riding Hood
Yes, the
aesthetic.
outfit.
No. I would like to stand next to an impoverished child. Like, what's that
Aw.
one? What's that one from the Christmas? It's like the one with the peg leg. What are you talking about? Little Timmy? Little Timmy?
Yeah.
Little Timmy? Okay, I think it's Little Timmy. Maybe if I say it again,
Oh,
you guys will
isn't
agree.
Isn't that Timmy fell down the well?
Let's just say it's Little Timmy, okay? So let's do him. Let's do me next to him with compassion and caring, trying to help little Timmy. And let's do
And
Tom with
a-
horns laughing at the
that's so sad.
the
sick
unfortunate
child.
circumstances of little Timmy. That would describe today's episode. That's what I think. Okay.
Just
sounds
keep
good
me
to
out
me.
of keep me out of it. Just
sounds
completely
correct.
out of it.
All right, everybody. We have you have dealt with us enough.
Yep.
We hope you have a great week. We'll be back at it soon. If you want to watch the replay of the planning for 2026,
Yeah.
it's up on the same YouTube channel that you can watch this podcast on. The replay is also up on Facebook for a limited amount of time. I think they keep them up for 30 days now, something like
Okay.
that. But it's on YouTube forevermore. But you don't want to get to it when it's about to be 2027. That kind of kills the purpose. And we love you guys. Thank you. If you enjoyed this, comment below, say hello, make sure you subscribe, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, move on, act like you never heard it. Okay?
Sounds good.
We love you. We'll see you soon.
Bye.